Hello and welcome back to She Sparks Live, episode 12, Open, Heal, and Strengthen Your Body. I'm super excited as I have Miss Camille Zolman here with me today with CamiRose Yoga. Hello,
Yay.
Camille.
Hey, Sharon.
So to begin this episode, we always love to ask a really funny, crazy question. And so Camille, the question for you is if you had to go back in a time machine, any time period, what would it be and why?
Okay, if I had a time machine and I could go back, well, I feel like the time period we live in right now is really awesome. It's like a time period of a lot of women's empowerment, a lot of change, a lot of individuality, people finding their own light, their own path, which is really awesome. So I love living in this time period. But if I had to go back, I would go back to like Downton Abbey time. So what is that, like 1910, 1920s?
Nice.
Because I really like the clothes.
Heck yeah.
Of the 20s, yeah.
There you go. I think...
Maybe that'd probably be it. I don't know.
No, I love it. I think I would probably... We're in a time machine, so we can come back is, I guess, my rules.
Yeah.
I would go in the future. I think I would want to go in the future and check out the future maybe in like 2050 and kind of just take a peek at that. That would be my answer. But right answer.
That would probably terrify me because
so
I feel like computers
Zolman,
are going to take over our life.
Tell us, what's your passion, what do you do, and what sparked your journey?
Okay, what sparked my journey? So my name's Camille, and I do yoga and a lot of other things, but everything kind of evolved around yoga. So what sparked my journey is I was newly graduated from college and was a first-year teacher in high school teacher. And I was the only teacher in my department. And
I didn't know
like
that about you.
starting, I taught high school for 3 years in public education. So, and I was starting this, like building this program up in my high school, and I was really overwhelmed. I was having to make all these lesson plans, and anyway, I was just really overwhelmed. And so I just kept like searching and like praying for something. I was like, I need something. And then this random yoga picture popped up on my Instagram of like some chick doing a handstand with her like feet touching her head. And I was like, what is this?
That is going to be me.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? So I clicked on it and I just read
Aww.
her comment, like her caption, and then I went to her page and was just reading all of the stuff she was talking about, and I was like, I need yoga in my life. So started with YouTube videos for a year, then I signed up for teacher training, mainly just to kind of learn more for myself.
Yeah, of course.
But then now I teach it, which is great. So that was all up in northern Utah, and then we moved here 3 years ago. And I kept doing yoga, and yoga is a great place for me. I was always able to find, a community, feel accepted, loved.
Yeah. Well, and it's so needed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very healthy for you. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and it was nice because it would be a whole bunch of different types of people.
Yeah.
But coming together collectively in like a class, and you would feel connected. So it didn't matter, what race you were, what gender you were, what like sexual orientation, what your religious beliefs were. Like you were all kind of like one and connected in yoga. That. And so it was really nice for me. And then when I moved down here, I had a really hard time finding that same community. So I cried a lot, and then I just was like, screw it. I'm just going to make a festival. So I started the Southern Utah Yoga Fest.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
So started the Southern Utah Yoga Fest, and just because I needed friends, that's really like how it came about, was because I needed friends and I knew there were people out there, and I felt like, other people probably feel the same way. They might feel lonely, and so I just really wanted to create a space, kind of like what you're doing with She Sparks, like create a space where people can come together, help each other grow, feel connection.
I love that.
All that. So,
and we'll get into the Yoga Fest here in a second, but I really want to dive deep in the education and the knowledge and just everything that you have to offer. And so my question for you is, you saw that post that I did on Facebook the other day, or yesterday, of how to handle stress. And I feel like in life, we're all stressed in our own way, but it's how we handle stress is important. And so with what you do, how do you help relieve stress?
So with what I do, so yoga is a wonderful outlet to be able to help relieve stress. Sometimes it can seem like it's causing more stress, because actually like sitting and meditating and breathing and like looking inward can kind of
Her
create.
feet just touched her head.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I have to do that?
Yeah. Like when I did a meditation retreat, it was this 3-day meditation retreat, and we sat for like 2-hour blocks of just meditation and just breathing, and like we couldn't talk. It was a silent retreat. So like you couldn't even make eye contact with people. You couldn't write in your journal. It was just like, and I remember it was awesome, but it wasn't long enough for me, because as I was sitting there and like stuff would start to come up, and then I would panic, but then
anxiety.
Yeah. And then, but then when you continue that practice, continue meditation practice, continue yoga practice, your body, your mind, just kind of your energy, all that just kind of balances, and you're able to process stuff. And so it slowly goes away. So I just remember like my first like really big meditation experience. I was like, and then like meditation freaked me out, because it was like I had never really looked inward before, and never really sat with myself.
It's like in the moment experience. No, it's really great. I'm actually like 1 year into yoga. I've only done yoga for 1 year. So how do you find alignment with yoga, both professionally and personally?
How do I find alignment? So
how do you, or how can the listeners find alignment?
So this is funny, because I say like I need yoga because I'm crazy all the time. I feel like I'm really crazy all the time, and that's why I need yoga and meditation, is to keep me grounded and keep me sane. But how I find alignment, so I am probably not the best example of this, because I am self-employed. So stopped teaching, did wedding photography full-time for a few years, and then now I'm just focusing on like yoga and the yoga festival and that realm of health and well-being. So with being self-employed, like you're never off the clock. There's always something you can do. And you guys that are watching can maybe relate. I don't know. Give us some thumbs up if you can relate, or thumbs down if you can't. If you can relate and you hate that you can relate. But it's
give us thumbs up.
but give us thumbs up. Yeah. Is there even a thumbs down on Facebook? I don't even know. Is there not? You're like, I hate that I like.
They probably shouldn't. They have sad faces.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, because sometimes I want to do the sad face emoji when I'm like, oh, my life, I can never be off the clock.
Camille Zolman, everybody.
Alignment. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. So, alignment. So for me, what I really like to do is a strong morning routine is really important. And to be honest, I don't do a strong morning routine every morning. But when I do, my day goes so much better. I have a lot more clarity and focus. So whatever your morning routine wants to be, I like to get up and meditate. And I just do like Vipassana meditation. So I'm just focusing on my breath. You can also do like, there's lots of guided meditations on YouTube or apps. You can meditate with mala. Sometimes I meditate with my mala with my breath. You can have like a mantra that you like say to yourself. So I always try to meditate and sit for a few minutes, like 15 to 20 minutes a day. And then getting up and moving my body. So going on a walk or, or doing like my morning yoga practice you know, and then some type of like journaling or looking at a vision board or affirmation, something like that, where it's just at least for like, 30 minutes to an hour every morning. Like I don't have my phone with me. I don't have anything else, not my computer. I'm not working, and I'm just focusing on me. And that for me really helps me stay aligned.
I love that. I think some people might be like, oh, that's time. But it's, like I have to take time like out of my schedule to put an hour to do this, but you totally should, because it helps you so much. But one thing, as you're talking, that's what came to my mind. I'm like, oh, an hour, so I gotta wake up an hour earlier, which I can do. But then I got thinking, it's like, well, what about driving? Why can't we meditate sometimes when we're driving, or just laying in bed? Or just ways to still make sure you get that meditation time in without stressing so much about how you're going to fit it in.
Well, and I practice my yoga breathing while I drive. I used to practice it at the grocery store, but then people would like look at me weird because they would think I'm angry, like, like my breath of sound, like my breath of fire. Anyway.
Her and DJ, her husband's like picking apples. He's like, what do you think of this one?
I'm like engaging my pelvic floor. Anyway, so I'll do it while I drive. That's a really good thing. And then I'll do affirmations while I drive too. Especially if I have like a lot of anxiety and like I've struggled with panic attacks. And so like sometimes when I'm driving, like I'll just be, you know, like I'll focus on my breath, say some affirmations to myself, all that. But I mean, there's yoga poses and stuff that can help. It's always interesting when the connection between my life and my physical body. So if I'm chaotic in my mind and chaotic in my schedule and my life, then like my balancing poses physically, you know, like my standing balancing poses, I'm all over the place. Like I can't balance, and then I'm like, oh, that's interesting because
but you're aware
then I
of
just
it.
take a step back.
You do know, which I think is important.
Yeah.
So tell us, how can we heal our body physically, emotionally, and energetically?
Okay, so physically, to heal your body physically, I would just start with like your relationship with food and like what you're consuming and putting in your body. So I'm really into intuitive eating. I've been on like an intuitive eating journey for a year, almost a year now, because I almost started it at the same time that She Sparks started. Because I remembered at the first She Sparks event, got those really yummy like croissant chocolate puff pastries. Yeah, puff pastries. I don't know if you guys remember that. If you remember those puff pastries at the first event, give us a heart.
I must have been focused on other things. But
which
glad
is
it
good.
left
And I remember being like, okay, and I remember like consciously eating one and being like, okay, how do I feel? Do I need another one? So that was kind of like where, and there's a really good book, Intuitive Eating. It's a really good book. Anyway, so I've been really into like learning about what you're putting into your body, what your body needs, trusting your body that it'll tell you what to need, and kind of getting rid of like the shame and guilt and stuff associated around food. So I would look for physically, I would obviously look at what you're putting in your body, putting on your body. Like there's tons of toxic stuff in makeup and lotions and shampoo and conditioner. I know, I'm 6 months, no shampoo, you guys. Water and baking soda and apple cider vinegar.
Really?
Yeah, anyway, I should do an Instagram on it. You guys, look at my hair. It's so great. I know. It's insane, right? But you look like a nasty oil mess for the first few weeks. Okay, so just looking at what you're putting in your body, on your body, and then obviously getting out and moving. Like, exercise is very important, but that doesn't mean you have to go to the gym. Like, go on a hike, go on a walk, just sit and do some stretches. Like, I'm 6 months pregnant, and I was so sick for the first few months. Like, couldn't even get out and do anything. And so, and then obviously you get limited with stuff you can do while you're pregnant. So just being able to just like move and stretch and, you know, stuff like that's really important. So taking care of your body physically, and you said mentally and emotionally? Energetically, I would really take the time to meditate. I think a meditation practice is really important.
So how, if the listeners have never even experienced meditation or how to do it, where is it just a great source to at least start?
I would start with just like an app. There's a lot of really good meditation apps. Even like YouTube stuff. Sometimes meditations on YouTube, they have like really weird voices. You know, and you're kind of like, oh, okay.
How is that again?
So for me, the best meditation that I love is just breathing. Because that for me is such a challenge. Like if I sit for 20 minutes in my meditation practice and I'm just breathing and focusing on my inhale, focusing on my exhale, and trying to let everything else go, probably in that 20 minutes, I get maybe a collective 2 to 5 minutes of silence, and it's not even back to back. It's like 5 seconds of silence, then 15 seconds of silence, and then like 3 minutes of chaotic, let it go, oh, don't think about that, let it go, right, and then it's like 45 seconds of silence.
Someone told me while you're meditating, because you will get those thoughts, and I'm like over here practicing my breathing, but they said when those things come, and when you feel them and you hear those thoughts, it's like a cloud. Just push, like when you're meditating, push the cloud away. Those thoughts will come and just push them away.
It away.
And I've been trying that, and I'm like, oh, okay, that works.
Yeah, I'm always just like let it go. That's not my breath. Just let it go and bring it back to the breath. And then you have to trust that if there's something important enough that you thought of or that really needs to be addressed, or, you know, like if it's inspiration or something, you know, for your business, I just have to trust that that will still be there after my meditation practice.
Exactly.
But right now I'm just breathing. And so I think energetically, and then with the meditation practice, when you're focusing on yourself and breathing, then comes, I don't know, just like other healing, like things will come up where you're just like, oh, that's interesting that I'm thinking that, or, oh, I feel imbalanced in that. And then, I don't know, your mind and body and spirit are really good at taking care of itself and helping you take care of it if you take the time to, you know, let it tell you what it needs to tell you.
And it's totally needed, so definitely, and I loved all of that. So, Camille, you're a sponsor of She Sparks Business. You were actually one of our first members and first sponsors about a year ago, because she turns one. Oh my gosh, today's May 1st.
Oh,
woo!
1 year.
Yes. May, 1 year. I love it. So
see, we're all so busy we don't even know the date. We're like, what date is it?
How has She Sparks Business helped you personally and professionally, Camille?
So She Sparks, I have loved She Sparks. Sometimes, especially the past few months with being pregnant, I'm like, oh, it's so hard to like get out and like go to the events. But every time I go, I come back and I just go, oh, I'm so glad I went. I'm so glad I didn't like tell myself to stay home. I'm so happy that I went, because the connections that I've made with people, I mean, the networking is awesome. You meet people from all different types of businesses and backgrounds. And just, I don't know, I'm a big believer that every person you interact with can teach you something and can better your life. And so She Sparks is like a wonderful place to be able to learn so much from so many people.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we've gotten a few teachers for the festival from She Sparks, so it's really great. So, I mean, but for me, that the connection's been awesome, and the energy, and I always love when
So for those watching, if they've never been to a She Sparks Business event or hasn't even been surrounded in just a women's business community, what would you like to say to them?
If they've never
been to a She Sparks event, yes, or just a women's community in general, what would you like to say?
So I would say, just do it, because there is a special energy and inspiration and enlightenment that comes when you are surrounded by women that are empowered, women that want to have success, find success, women that want to help you find success and empowerment. And I mean, it's just, it's like hard to describe. Yeah, it's hard to describe.
You just have to be there.
You just have to be there.
Right?
Yeah.
I love it.
So I would say just try it and just come.
So to end the episode 12, Open, Heal, and Strengthen Your Body, Camille, what can they do? We'll put the link below of your tickets for the Southern Utah Yoga Fest. But how can they find tickets, get a hold of you, or even learn more about what you have, this amazing community that you have created?
Yeah, so early bird tickets are on sale. They went live today, so
woo!
Celebrate She Sparks 21.
Yeah, and you're too. Double high five. I'm a high fiver.
So southernutahyoga.com is where you can go. Southern Utah Yoga Fest on Facebook, on Instagram. You can also follow me, CamiRose Yoga, on Instagram. And yeah, we'd love to have you come out to the festival. It's a wonderful community of like soulful people, happy people.
The date is when?
November 1st and 2nd, 2019.
November 1st and 2nd. Where at?
At Kayenta.
Art Village. Beautiful.
Yeah,
wonderful.
So surrounded by the Red Rock, really peaceful and tranquil out there. It's going to be nice.
Well, good. Well, Camille Zolman, everybody, with CamiRose Yoga, thank you for watching episode 12, and we'll see you at episode 13.